Hi, this video is for you if you were thinking about joining Navigate, but you're just not sure because you're afraid you won't be able to make all the live call times. All right, my name is Kathy Mazak, and I am the creator of the Navigate program. And so if you're thinking hard enough about Navigate to worry about the call times, then I want to just break down how we schedule calls and when the times are. And then I also want to talk about a major mindset shift and strategy that we teach you inside of the Navigate program that's going to help you clear the time, the specific times of our call times. And that strategy is putting writing at the center. Okay, so first of all, our Navigate trainings, like the content, most of the content of the program is delivered via recorded trainings, which you can also listen to as a private podcast feed. So it's really convenient as a podcast. You get the notebook, there's a notebook, there's like a workbook that goes with the course, with the training material. And that's the 10 systems, many lessons, 10 systems that is the meat of the training part of Navigate. But there's also other parts of the program that are delivered live over the course of a year, right? So every week there's a half an hour group coaching call. Every day there are available times where you can do co-writing with other people in the community. There's also events such as our writing planning sessions, which is like an hour and a half hands-on workshop that we do kind of 3 times a year in preparation for like the next season. So we do one kind of pre-summer and then one in the fall and then one in the spring. And those are delivered live, right? It's like we get on the Zoom and we work through things together. And we also have writing sprints, which usually have a kickoff call and a wrap-up call. A sprint is 2 weeks long. So it's, the live parts of the sprint actually happen the kickoff call and the wrap-up celebration call. Everything else happens asynchronously. So I would say that 85% of the program happens asynchronously, but there are these synchronous or live components to the program. So when we schedule, so our whole team is in East Coast of the US and Atlantic Standard time, and we have to schedule those times like during the workday of our time zone, right? So what we try to do is we try to hit all of our scheduling for live events. We try to concentrate in between at the earliest 10 a.m. Eastern, that's New York City time, and at the latest 2 p.m. Eastern, which is, again, New York City time. So when we hit that window, we hit one would be awake in many time zones, but not in Australia and New Zealand most of the time. Okay, so that's the people who do get left out. If you're living in Australia and New Zealand, I'm going to tell you how, like, if you can't make things live, like what you do, but you should know that we don't have a ton of options in terms of many of our live calls for you. However, that has not stopped many Australians and New Zealanders and people in East Asia from joining our programs, including our programs that are mostly delivered live, like our Amplify and Elevate programs. We have people who just make it work, right? So we are operating under the constraints of, of our time zones. And so we're trying to accommodate as many people as possible. And that's why we try to hit that window. Now, the Momentum Mindset calls, which are the name of our group coaching calls, happen at 11:30 a.m. on Mondays. And we are piloting an additional time, which is 8 a.m. on Tuesdays. They're a half an hour call. And if you can't make it live, we provide you with basically a lesson plan so that you can recreate the call for yourself. Now, we would love for you to come live, do what you need to do to clear that half an hour. And I'll talk more about that when I talk about writing at the center. But that's when those calls happen. Also, we provide 6 like scheduled co-writing times during the day, and those are at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. Eastern. So those are times that are kind of like community agreed upon. Many of those times have a momentum mentor or a coach kind of hosting the call. And so it's really like it's not meant for you to come, obviously, right, to 6 sessions every day. It's that there are 6 sessions available for you. And then what we do early in the Navigate program is you look at your calendar and you commit to 1 or 2 per week, not per day. Okay. 1 or 2 of those co-writing sessions per week. And that's also only if you want to do co-writing, right? Like you don't have to do it as part of the program. You can still be very successful without participating in that. We find it a useful tool, and you will learn about it inside of Navigate. Now, the other things that are delivered live, like I mentioned, are planning sessions and our kickoff calls for the writing sprint and things like that. Those are recorded, and you can see the recordings in your online portal with all of your training materials. So we don't record the group calls because they're mostly held in breakout rooms. You can't really record them anyway. So instead, we provide you with a lesson plan for those. So you are not going to miss any content, even if you never came to a synchronous meeting. All of the content of the meetings is provided to you either as a lesson plan or in a recorded video. So I love asynchronous learning. And so we wanted to provide that as an option, right? Like you absolutely can do our Navigate program completely asynchronously, and it works just as well. Like it's great. So the last thing I want to talk about is that inside of our Navigate program, and this is the real key, inside of our Navigate program, we teach you how to kind of make spaciousness in your schedule. We teach you how to prioritize writing first when you are creating your ideal week calendar. And what that means is that we are encouraging you that if you want to come to the Momentum Mindset calls on Mondays at 11:30, that we are going to give you strategies and skills so that you can make that happen for yourself, so that you can arrange your schedule around that 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, rather than receiving your schedule from other people. So much of Navigate is about stepping into your agency around your schedule. Okay. It's about boundaries. It's about what is really figuring out what is priority for you, and then having your schedule reflect that. We teach you that inside of Navigate. That's what much of the 10 systems is about that. And so it might not happen immediately. Like you might not be able to make that, call time that you really want to make in the first month of the program or the first 2 months of the program. But what you're going to be learning is how to manipulate your schedule to have the career that you want to have. So to me, it feels like a small thing to try to free that half an hour, Again, we're going to give you support. We're going to give you tools for it. If you can free that half an hour, what else can you do, right? With your schedule. So this is exactly the kind of prioritizing writing decision that we are going to support you in developing your ability to make. So that's what we call writing at the center. We put writing at the center of our careers, and that lets us create the publications that also lets us drive our careers in the direction that we want to go. So now you know all about the call times, and you also know that during the Navigate program, you're going to learn how to free up the time in your schedule for the things you want to do when you want to do them. And that is so important in empowering you and you stepping into your agency around your schedule, which is just absolutely crucial for making time to write and getting publications out. All right. I hope that helps. Have a great day. Bye.